Welcome to the first episode of Season 6 of LSMN Overtime. I'm Aiden McGee. It's a basketball full episode plus a little soccer. Let's kick off with some men's basketball. Geyer visited Flower Mound on Tuesday for a highly anticipated matchup. Flower Mound got off to a fast start with an and one from junior guard Dylan Omoyi. Geyer, however, was locked down on defense in the first, getting multiple steals and blocks, helping him to secure a 10-9 lead at the end of the first. Both offenses were dormant for the majority of the second quarter, with Geyer clinging to a narrow 2-point lead at halftime. The second half was seemingly all Flower Mound, as they got red hot in the third with a couple of threes from Reed Jacobson and a pull-up three from Preston Hatcher. And for good measure, Jacobson tacked on another. However, that was not enough, as Geyer stayed with him, and the game would require overtime. And who else but Reed Jacobson to get the scoring started in OT with this brilliant putback finish. The Jags were unable to put it away at the buzzer, however, so this game would head to a second overtime. Guard Olin Mueller would get the scoring started in double OT for the Jags, but as always, Geyer would refuse to go away as DJ Majors hit this game-tying layup. Preston Hatcher would then step up and knock down a clutch three-pointer, which was followed by 2 Jacobson free throws. Geyer would get new life, however, as Majors would convert on 3 consecutive free throws to cut the Jag lead to 2. The Jaguars extended it back to 6 before freshman guard David Mata would knock down a clutch 3 to keep Geyer alive. Geyer had a chance to win it in the final seconds, but couldn't get a shot away, sealing a hard-fought win for the Jaguars by the final score of 60-57. Continuing with the Flower Mound men's basketball team, they have had a complete turnaround after a rough couple of years. I got the privilege to talk to their coach and players on their impressive play recently. Flower Mound boys basketball has experienced a resurgence under new coach Justin Kaufman, as they are off to their best start in almost 6 years.
We have, defensively, we have high expectations and standards. It just comes down to, man, guys every single day, get maximized and get the most out of what you get. Go your all, high intensity, high energy, every single time. We do that every single time.
Definitely our preparation and our scouting. We focus a lot on knowing the other team's sets and their players, and that really helps us.
Something that I want everyone to know is about the season. We play real determination and grit. We try to win every single play, and we just do our best.
The Jags recently had a 5-game winning streak. They talked about what made them successful during that impressive run.
Strong with the basketball. Just try to rebound a little bit better before anything. We try to change it and do a little bit offensively. Free the stuff. Guys played aggressive, but also together. Pass.
Before that 5-game win streak, we were losing a couple games, and we came back into practice. We were all hungry. We were eager for a win. Y'all knew that we were due, and we came out. We hustled better and harder than we've ever done before, and we were due for a win.
During that win streak, we paid attention to all the details. Shot the game really well, and we really communicated very efficiently, and we were just really together as a team.
For LSMN Overtime, I'm Aiden McGee. Back to more Tuesday night action. We had an exciting boys basketball matchup between Louisville and Marcus. The Marauders got on the board first with a bucket from star guard Luke Susko, setting the tone early. The Farmers responded quickly, taking advantage during the first quarter and building momentum, with a few buckets from senior guard Herman Easter. As the game went on, Marcus began to heat up, extending their lead with strong offensive plays, including a bucket from guard Ryan Wilson and from big man Jackson Strunk. Louisville tried to shut them down with solid defense, blocking several Marcus possessions, as well as getting a 3 from Jaden Sudler. Susko and Marcus could not be stopped, however, continuing to get buckets and maintaining their lead. Marcus kept hold to a strong 7-point lead, and in the end, the Marauders held on to win with a final score of 49-41. Keeping up with men's basketball, here are the scores from the past week. The Colony wiped out Turner 96-69. Flower Mound edged Geyer by 3 points with a score of 60-57. Marcus beat Louisville 49-41, and Capel dominated Hebron with a score of 67-39. Flower Mound and Geyer met up in Flower Mound for this entertaining matchup on Tuesday. The game started with the Lady Wildcats taking an early 10-5 lead over Flower Mound, before the Lady Jags went on an absolute heater with this 12-0 run, including multiple steals. By the end of the first, it was 19-13. In the second, Geyer's Bailey Bowman hit an impressive lead to cut the Lady Jags lead to 5. The game continued on there when late in the third, Macy Pringle made this emphatic block to steal the ball away from the Lady Wildcats. Early in the fourth, the Lady Wildcats started with some massive threes and began to go on a run to cut the lead to 5, before an offensive foul would pause their momentum. Flower Mound would get a couple of free throws, and that would be followed up by the dagger from Macy Pringle to put the game away from the Jags, who would pull away with a win by 63-53. For women's basketball this week, Flower Mound took out Geyer 63-53. Hebron fell to Capel in a defense-heavy game with a final score of 37-26. Marcus wiped out Louisville with a score of 71-28, and finally, the Colony absolutely tanked Turner with a score of 60-13. Looking ahead for men's and women's basketball next week, Flower Mound takes on Little Elm, Marcus goes against division rival Hebron, the Colony faces off against Wakeland, and finally, Louisville versus Denton Braswell. The Marcus women's basketball team is currently having one of their best seasons in years, having the most wins in a season since 2018 with a record of 19-6. With more insight on the fundamentals of the team is our very own Luke Ballas.
We got a chance to talk to Marcus girls basketball team about this season and their impressive 10-game win streak.
These girls, they fight for each other, they love each other. And so, because they have that bond built off the court, that translates to the court. They play hard for each other. And we did a really good job of playing together, executing our team ball, and that's what led us to be successful.
This is the best group I think I've had. It's my senior year, and I feel like the chemistry is more there this season.
The work we've put in, knowing, just sticking together, and just we all been working really hard and doing the things we're supposed to do. So I just think that, and just our consistent efforts.
Over the course of the season, each game has come with a new lesson for success.
We had a loss against Denton Ryan, the former state champs, and I think that really showed our potential for when we work as a team. We were ahead the first three quarters and then we went down, but we still responded well and we were still encouraging to each other.
It was during our Marble Falls tournament, opened some eyes, let us realize what it's like to not work together and how if we don't, it could be a downfall. Even though we lost, we were set to a new standard for ourselves, and it helped us realize how good we actually are.
Despite the adversity the team has faced, hear how the team chemistry has grown.
Had a couple players step up more into roles that they're not used to being in. She's kind of stepped into a bigger scoring role for us, especially this last game she had 16 points. And I just think we have better chemistry, players working off of each other in that starting lineup especially.
It's allowed our individual players to then grow and allow their games to shine, because when we're all working together, we're really hard to guard. With the 5 people that we have on the floor, you have to guard everybody, and so we're working hard for each other, and we're working for the best shot.
We've grown chemistry-wise. Last year was a whole new team, so it's been a reoccurring year of the same people, so we're getting better.
With LSMN Overtime, I'm Lucas Ballas.
Tuesday night, Hebron men's soccer faced off against Capel in a frigid yet heated game. Capel started off aggressive with their speed and quick decision-making. However, Hebron was able to break through with their teamwork and laser-focused passing while keeping them away with their up-front defense. Hebron put themselves on the board first with an Ethan Aronson header assisted by Aiden Vergara off of a free kick. In the second half, Elijah Gradia made sure to keep the score down with this lockdown goalie work. And from there, Hebron's Landon Cray finalized the score with an absolute worm burner past the Capel goalie to ice the game, as the Hebron Hawks went on to win by the final score of 2-0. Moving on to soccer, here's the men's recap. Flower Mound narrowly beat Geyer 1-0, Hebron took out Capel 2-0, and Marcus took out Louisville on a rivalry matchup 2-0. And then for the women, Flower Mound fell to Geyer 3-0, Marcus decimated Louisville 6-0, and Hebron fell to Capel 3-2. And looking ahead for both men's and women's soccer, the Colony takes on Turner, Flower Mound takes on Little Elm, Louisville goes against Braswell, and Hebron takes on Marcus. And now let's head over to our virtual studio with Alex Estrada. Alex, who do we have for this week's Spotlight and Grad Star?
Well, Aiden, this week marks a first in overtime history as we have siblings sweeping the spotlight in grad star positions. This week's spotlight is Marcus sophomore point guard Jada Ramanan. Jada has been a great contributor for Marcus this year. On Friday, Jada dropped a towering 30-point game against the number 1 ranked Coppell, scoring over half of Marcus's points in their win against the Cowboys. Ramanan has been a big factor in the team's impressive 22-6 record on the season. Her play recently even earned her Performance Course Athlete of the Week honors. For someone with big shoes to fill following her older brother's legacy at Marcus, Jada has more than stepped up to the challenge. Speaking of her older brother, Marcus alumni Jaden Ramanan is this week's grad star. Jaden left his mark as one of the best shooters in Marcus history, and he's continuing his success at Collin County Community College. Ramanan, as a freshman, has started all 18 games this season, recently putting up a 23-pointer in a loss against Ranger College. Jaden, in his first season, has already become the team's leading scorer, averaging 13.8 points per game with a 39.4 shooting percentage on the season. If you have a grad star you'd like us to highlight, make sure to let us know on X at LSMN Sports. Now back over to Aiden.
That's all for this week's episode. I'm Aiden McGee. See you right here next time on Overtime.